Boom shakalaka, we just got pwned by the whales. I hope you didn't sell. Here's why. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including how we just got pwned by the whales and why you best not sell. Not financial advice, duh. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, come join us on Twitter at @TheCryptoLove. Push that like button. Now, today, fear and greed at neutral, 50 dead center on the fear and greed index. And actually, we're going to be taking a look later at exactly how this adds up over time. The overall market down 2% today. Bitcoin at 28,325, Ethereum at 1952, BNB at 319, XRP 47 cents, Cardano 40 cents, Dogecoin 8 cents, Polygon $1.06, and Solana 22.33. And the top coins today, based on AI, would be Anchor Network, Volt Inu, IoTeX, Ren, and LivePeer. And if you want to use token metrics yourself to pick out the best coins like ChatGPT, but specifically for crypto, there is a free trial down in the description. Also down there, if you want to support the channel, there is a link to get a subscription for TradingView. Now, today on the TradingView chart, we can see finding support at this little area on the volume profile, $28,000. Bitcoin has fallen all the way down, fallen below this support structure right here. If the $28,000 area doesn't hold, we could be looking at the 50-day moving average around 26 or even lower than that. Previous resistance back here around $25,000. But based on the charts, and if you stay tuned for this episode, I think you might suspect that we might find support at those levels. You see, yesterday was the biggest long liquidation event in crypto this year. Look at that. Look at how many longs got liquidated. More than any other time this year. And guess what? It didn't break through $28,000. Most of the longs are gone at this moment. Now, how did this happen? Is it actually whale manipulation? It looks like Bitcoin whales want to buy cheap Bitcoin to me. Could they push the price of Bitcoin down and liquidate all the longs to get Bitcoin at cheaper prices? They absolutely could. If we take a look at this chart right here, this breaks down cohorts of Bitcoin owning greater than 10,000 Bitcoin all the way down to less than 1 Bitcoin. You can see the only people buying right now are whales, buying at an aggressive clip. Now, the last time they did this, where they went from extreme selling to buying, look at this. They were extreme selling all here. Buying started right here, back when Bitcoin was $15,000, all the way at the bottom. They sold, pushed the price all the way down, and then bought back heavily in the bottom. Again, they sold on the way up. Now, this is likely a new bottom. They likely liquidated all the longs so that they can buy Bitcoin cheaper. Right now, Bitcoin price has completely filled this CME gap at $28,000. So once this is filled, definitely room for upward movement, including this chart here. Based on the Vwap ratio, it's possible we may never see Bitcoin prices lower than $28,000 again. Bitcoin has just broken the Vwap. As long as this is sustained in the short term, meaning as long as the whales don't continue pushing the price down, well, the only thing that could take it lower than this would be something like a black swan. We can see in previous cycles when Bitcoin price broke the Vwap, price never went lower. Same thing here and here. The only thing that pushed it lower before was a black swan event. So barring that, and I gotta remind you, a recession is not a black swan event. We've known about this thing since 2008. It's not a surprise to anybody. As a matter of fact, if we take a look at this chart, this is probably one of the most interesting recessionary charts I've seen. So the M2 money supply has been in contraction territory for 6 consecutive months. Yay, the US isn't printing money. What about China and Japan? Well, at least the US isn't printing money, right? But if we take a look at this, when monetary supply is in contraction, comparing this with recessions, which are these gray areas, the contraction actually occurs after recessions. There's an expansion leading up to the recession, as you can see in all of these territories, expansion leading up to a recession, and then contraction after. So there being a contraction would make me think that maybe this recession isn't going to happen. Could everybody be wrong? Yeah, it's happened before. Now, Bitcoin is coming up with some resistance right around the $28,000 area. Nothing unusual. Bitcoin has this habit to react when approaching the top of the Gaussian channel, pausing or getting rejected from it before resuming its course. Nothing unusual. You can see historically it has paused or gotten rejected at the top of the Gaussian channel. Right now we are at the top of the Gaussian channel, so nothing unusual. We could just be having an apex retest. Now this happened back in 2020, which was the breakout that started the beginning of the bull run. So this is a very, very important retest. You can see Bitcoin was going sideways, coiling up, broke above, retested the apex tip right there, including the corresponding momentum indicator, same type of thing, before it took off. Well, we are in the same thing. We have a coiling up of Bitcoin, breaking above, retesting the apex point. Again, same thing on the 3-day momentum. Could we take off for new all-time highs? Yes, a lot of the charts are suggesting that. Now, as we were talking previously about the fear and greed index over time, I like to look at this. This is the max time frame for this. Gives you a good idea of what's going on. Now, if you guys remember, 2018, market was crashing, and you can see lower highs here on the fear and greed index until it broke above there, and then we get higher lows on the way back up. Well, we had the same thing happening in the bear market where we had lower highs right here until we broke through there, and now we're starting to get higher lows. Now, where is the territory where we want to be extremely cautious? Once Bitcoin gets up to the 90s, the high 80s and the 90s in terms of fear and greed index, that's when everything in your mind should be saying sell everything. If you do sell, if you're not a long-term investor. But if you're anything like that, right now we're at 50, okay? But as we're going back up, look at this, it just goes up slowly. The tops keep getting higher and higher and higher until we're in the 90s, and then that's sell territory, which is a peak. Same thing happened back here. Tops keep getting higher and higher and higher until we're in the 90s, and then that's the peak, and then it starts coming back down. So it looks, according to this, we have changed direction from going down to going up, but the tops right now in the upper 60s. So we still have some time to go based on the fear and greed index. We're just in a compression period for Bitcoin, just leaving a compression period when we take a look at Bitcoin compared to the short-term holder realized price and the coin value days destroyed. You can see in previous bottoms, we had these compression periods. They're a bit shorter each time, but we're just exiting that area. So that is exceptionally bullish for Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, we could have this very awesome fractal happening that happened in 2019 that could again simulate a massive run for Bitcoin. We have this sideways wedge, we have this downwards expanding wedge, and then we tap the bottom of that and come out, breaking out. Well, look at this. We have this sideways wedge, we have this downwards expanding wedge, we tapped the bottom of it. Same thing could be happening, could send Bitcoin much higher. As a matter of fact, as of right now, the Bollinger Band 3 weeks. So Bitcoin's already rose thousands of dollars without a healthy pullback, but the 3-week Bollinger Band still call for a return to the upper band, which is currently at a price of $35,790. In past cycles, there were no large corrections until this was reached. Could this be different? You can see when we break down to the bottom, break above the midline, and then we get up to the top, we touch the upper band. Again, break through the midline, touch the upper band. Well, we have broken through the midline, the upper band right now at roughly $36,000. And just to give you an idea of where we are in terms of the overall scale of things, yes, we will likely see something happen between now and the end of May. Sell in May, go away. So we could see a significant price pump somewhere between $35,000 and $60,000. And then probably a nice healthy crash after that during the summer while everyone goes away. But in the grand scale of things right now, Bitcoin is still on the lower end of its value map, higher end, roughly $90,000. So that's all for today's episode. If you did enjoy it, push that like button. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.